Hello and welcome everybody to 2005. 2005, Tiger Woods won the Masters. Do you remember that was his famous chip in on 16 where he chips it way off to the left of the hole uphill and it just starts to roll down and roll down and roll down and it hovers on the lip and then it falls in and it's like, yes, and then the announcer's like, in your life, have you ever seen it? And, it's just that was that year. Guess what came out? This. Callaway released this in 2005. You know what else came out in 2005? A huge failure. Star Wars Episode 3. It might have been a commercial success, but one of the, let's say, polarizing Star Wars movies ever. Don't know if for me, didn't enjoy that. But I enjoy these irons. We should get these irons on the review table. Have a closer look at some identifying features. I always like to have a full understanding of what we're looking at with some older clubs, okay? So the Callaway X18s, these over here that came before the X18s, were announced in 2002. In 2003, they became available at local pro shops, okay? Undercut cavity all the way around. And so there's X16, X16 Pro. All right. And then in 2004, 1 year after the release of the X16s, they announced the X18s, and they were available at the beginning of 2005, January 2005. Okay, so the 2-year cycle continues. They also released later the X18R, which, as far as I can tell stands for retail. Okay, it's these are the Costco brand Callaway X18s, and there are some differences. I just want to show you real quick. For starters, this isn't representative because this particular one, the ferrule is broken off. Normally it would have a ferrule. So what you're looking at, just remember that there should be a little ferrule here, but there isn't. See this little itty bitty little round ferrule. Yeah, there's supposed to be one on the X16 Pro line iron right here. All right. So the first way to tell it apart is, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but in the badge, this one, the retail version does say X18R. Okay, do you see the R right there? This one doesn't. Okay, the Pro Line version doesn't have that. Other ways you can tell pretty easily is the thickness of the aft portion right here on that cavity. This is very thin on the retail version, and it's really thick on the Pro Line version. The other thing that gives it away is the Pro Line version is undercut. The cavity is undercut all the way around. So the sides, the top line, everything is undercut. Whereas the retail version, only this base here by the sole is undercut. Everything else around the side and the top is not undercut. Can you see that? So very different when it comes to that cavity. And then, the shaft, it looks like they also used a different shaft, as this has a very abbreviated step pattern right here, where the Pro Line has more of what you'd expect in a steel shaft. So the X16 predated the X18 here, and the X18 is kind of like the next iteration, okay? So it's like a facelift, all right? So obviously undercut cavity, lovely badging. I like this big X. At the time, it looked way more modern than the X16. This, with a little writing, and all of a sudden you have this big graphic right here. To me, these always stood out as wow, cool new graphics, but it kind of seemed like the same iron to me, which, subject for debate. They've been kind of moving with this iterative design for a while now. So the X18, and then you can see there's a little texture right here where they kind of made this a little, proud of the back line, which is cool, kind of call back to muscle back designs. On the sole, way out here by the toe, they do have the iron number. It is the S2H2 design, which they're still sticking with, the short, straight, hollow hosel, and so you get a very little bit of metal right here, so they can redistribute that weight out here in the club head. That's what they were famous for. I do like it how it has the iron number here on the face. Grooves, stainless steel grooves, nothing really to write home about. Solid face. And then we're looking at the offset here. There's a little bit of offset on this one. I like how rounded it is. I mean, the top line is rounded, the toe is rounded, everything is round on this. It looks very, friendly very approachable. The forgiveness here, they radius this a tiny bit. You can see with the glare here, just a little bit, not too much. Sometimes companies seem to go crazy with that. It's like, why are you putting a sand wedge leading edge on like your 6-iron? Maybe that's not necessary. I don't know, but this one I think is very reasonable. So top line, I mean, the club looks good, small hosel here. As we move up the stepped shaft, we get the Callaway branding, Callaway Golf X18 Uniflex, which they were famous for at this time. I put 2004, that's when it was announced, obviously released January 2005, available for sale at your local pro shop. And this particular one has a Golf Pride VDR grip. So, pretty interesting, and not the original Callaway grip. Anyway, lovely, lovely irons. They look cool, but how do they feel? Let's take them out on the range and see how they feel.
X18 Callaway. My friend's dad, no, my friend in particular, and his dad, always promoted Callaway drivers and tailor-made irons. For me, that really changed around the X16 model year, the model before this one, when they really added this like elegant look to it that I thought was really elegant at the time, and still do to a certain extent. And so this is just the next iteration of that. It looks a lot like the X16, except they call it the X18. Not much changed, still some offset here, rounded top line, rounded toe, looks good. Nothing offensive here. Grip is fine. I have no complaints about this club. Just let me hit one real quick and we'll dive into this a little bit. Oh, that felt so good. Oh my goodness. The slight draw, somewhere between 150 and 200. When I hit a shot like that, with an iron that looks like this, yeah, there's a little bit of offset, but I'm just like, why? What's changed? In 20 years, what's changed? I would be perfectly happy playing this. The X16s made a bigger impression on me than the 18s, but I would be happy playing a set of these. Like if somebody came to me and said, hey, I'm new, or I'm on a budget, would X18s be good for me? Yeah, in my opinion, absolutely 100%. Why would you not play? It's just golf sometimes. I think we overcomplicate it. Oh, don't move. I'm watching this golf ball slowly move. Totally illegal, I know. What am I? Do I take a penalty for that? On the driving range? Between the 150 and 200, that one was a little bit, just a tiniest bit thin. I could feel it. Can I fade one? I don't know. Let's try. Is that more of a push than a fade? I don't know. That was awfully pushy. It might have faded the tiniest bit. So Callaway didn't, revolutionize. They didn't reinvent the wheel here, but they made a good wheel. It's funny, I watch some automotive content and people are talking about the tire technology and the progression in the last 10 years, 20 years. Golf, I'm not sure has that. I'm really nitpicking here. This one is missing that little, is it the O-ring ferrule that it's missing? So it is missing that. That kind of catches me. I'm like, is this a ping? It's missing that little ring ferrule. And the offset, kind of a bigger top line, kind of, but it's not to a point where it's offensive, I'm just like, I really would have to nitpick to find something wrong with this. I like it how it has the iron number on the face and on the sole. You pull it out of your bag, you're looking down at it. It's like, did I pull the right iron? Yep. You just go like this. 6-iron? Yep. Done. You don't have to do the, oh, is it? Yeah, I got the right iron. So, is that a big deal? No. Why this just seems like such a good iron. One more here. Oh, it feels so good when you hit it. Sweet. That draw is my natural pattern. So, Why? Why is this so good? Do you think this is good? Maybe it's just me, but you know, even nitpicking, I like this thin little Callaway always tries to get the short, straight, hollow hosel. And this is that. It's just gorgeous. Thank you, Callaway. This is a gem. If you don't like them, sell them cheap to me. Send them to me. These are great. Now, here's another set that I want. Why? Everything I hit, I'm just like, maybe there's a reason why Callaway is still on the map as one of the big golf brands. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Callaway X18 irons.
This is an iron. And I've spent a lot of time thinking about this. What is this? What is this? Callaway is what was in what I call the cruise control era of Callaway. Okay. In the 90s, you know, they had these tungsten titanium. That was the birth of like the Hawkeye tungsten titanium. You know, they had the titanium irons. You know, they had all these exotic things that they were experimenting with, you know. And come the 2000s, they were just like, oh, people don't want exotic, right? It's like you're not going to Horatio Pagani saying, hey, I have a family of 5 and I want to commute to and from school. He'd be like, dude, this is a passionate sports car company. He's like, you want a 2-seater sports car? Come to me. He's like, you know, and you want to drop millions? Come to me. You want just a Toyota Camry? Just go buy a Toyota Camry. Just go get a family car, right? You know, an car. This is an iron. TaylorMade's taking tungsten and gluing them in, putting clear epoxy. Look at us, they're movable weights, you know. TaylorMade was still, you know, trying to like push the envelope. And Callaway was just in cruise control. This is the cruise control era of Callaway, and that's what this represents. It's important to remember our history, everybody. So X18s, you know, they're lovely. They do the job, you know. And here's where it gets kind of like, so in the making of this video, 2025, it's like you can drop, you know, $3,000 on an iron. So you can drop more than that. You can, you know, so let's just stick with $2,000. You can drop $2,000 on an iron set. Well, that 6 iron, how far does it go? Oh, the 6 iron goes 170. Oh, sweet. What about the mainstream Toyota Camry, Honda Accord iron sets? You know, that you can buy sets for like 800, you know, less than half the price. 6 iron, guess what? Goes 170 yards. For a lot of mainstream golfers, it's like, oh, why would we not just go get one of the, you know, a lot of people. The majority of people are going to buy the Camrys and the Accords if you're looking for an car. Okay, we're leaving sport utilities and trucks out of it. I don't even want to start. If you're looking for an car, okay, you're going to get an car. You want an iron set, you get an iron set. And that's what's represented here with some Callaway offerings in the 2000s. So important to remember this era of the world and, you know, golf. Do I think this is exciting and passionate? Not really. It's just an iterative continuation of the X16 design and ideas. So, but might be for you. Doesn't mean that just because it's not for me doesn't mean it's not for you. All right. So, let me know what you think of the Callaway Cruise Control era X18 irons. Is this something that you were seeking to play? Do you still have a set? I mean, they're very usable irons. They're really good. And they look cool, you know. Steel, it's just a solid iron. So let me know your thoughts, memories. Do you still own a set? Did you buy them new? Do you still play them? And what's your favorite Callaway iron set to ever come out? Hawkeye VFT, probably, for me. I'll have to think about that one. I'll get back to you on that one. Either way, if you would like to support this channel, please visit us on Patreon. Here's a list of my patrons. I always want to mention my patrons and give them credit. Just $1 a month out there. It's just general support on Patreon. It keeps this channel alive. I really appreciate my patrons. Another way you can support this channel is by visiting my Amazon shop. I'll put a link in the description below. I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases. If you stay tuned to the end, you will see me hit this iron a few times and collect some data. If you enjoy this content, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. I am The Vintage Golfer.